Lacy.
And I'm Eric.
So it's time to grow the base. I like to switch to electric furnaces pretty much as soon as they're available. So these steel furnaces are killing me. I want to replace them.
Me too. But we don't want to spend a whole bunch of time meticulously rearranging what we already have to make room for the electric furnaces. So, I suggest we build another factory.
Another factory?
That's right! We've reached that phase of the game where it's time to start outsourcing some of our production to outposts. Never again shall we smelt copper plates at our bus. Our home factory shall be a land of prosperity, where the plates are always full, and no assembler shall ever be starved again. This will be...
Shh, I think that's enough.
Right. As our base grows, we're going to continue to need a lot more iron and copper plates. So let's build bigger than what we need and leave room to grow. This outpost can produce 4 full red belts of plates, and it's easy to add even more capacity to the side of it later.
Now might be a good time to discuss this train depot design.
Good idea. In the entire train network, the trains drive on the right-hand side. For these depots, the train comes in the right side and first enters the waiting area, also called the stacker. You can add on more of these as needed, depending on how many trains you expect to visit this depot. Then, when a station becomes available, the train can roll right in. Whichever train just left the station will itself sit in the waiting area until the exit lane clears. So this layout prioritizes trains entering the station over trains exiting the station to maximize resource unloading throughput. Also, it's super modular and adaptable. I have a zillion blueprints for both loading and unloading stations that all snap into this design.
I noticed that all of these trains are 4 wagons long, but the ones back at the main base only have 2.
Yeah, better fix that up. And we can add a drop-off for copper plates. We don't need those smelters anymore, but I'm getting tired of keeping the trains all fueled up. So let's automate that too. Here's my favorite way of doing it. This train is scheduled to stock up on fuel and go drop it off. That's it. The interesting bit is where the fuel gets unloaded. At all of my material loading stations, there's also a fuel unload station. That station is connected to the fuel chest by a circuit wire, and the station is only enabled when the chest dips below a certain amount. So most of the time, the fuel train sits back at its loading station until it's needed. The rest of the trains in the network don't have to worry about stopping by a fueling station since the fuel comes to them.
That's way too easy. I like it.
Alright, back to growing the base. We need more electricity to power the off-site iron smelting and steel smelting so we can fill up our bus. Phew! Drizzle a bit of oil on that spaghetti.
And we're ready to cook some purple science.
This new recipe turned out to be pretty easy. On the forums, people made a big deal about requiring so many rails in the recipe, but a red belt is more than enough for our current needs.
It took a minute for steel to catch up on the main bus. Let's take a closer look at that smelting area.
This may be a lazy way of doing it. I don't know, but we're just siphoning off some iron plates from their smelting lines over towards the steel. The reason it took a while to catch up at our bus is these buffer chests are still pretty empty, and the train won't leave the station until it is full too. You can limit the storage capacity of the buffer chests, and you can always manually dispatch the train too. Alright, yellow science was also pretty simple, since we already had a robot frames factory across the bus. The blue circuits and high-density structures are really easy to set up. They take a lot of resources, but they're not complicated.
We had to rearrange our labs a little bit too. Don't forget that you can daisy chain the labs to help with belt management.
After the steel production caught up, we started running out of red circuits, so it's a good thing this blueprint expands so easily. Red circuits take 6 seconds to build, and it's really easy to underestimate just how many assemblers you'll need to even halfway fill a belt. Seems like I never have enough red circuits.
One last thing to cap off this session. We're suddenly using a lot of resources. A quick way to ease that burden is to put productivity modules in your science labs.
We're going to want a lot of productivity modules later, so let's just automate it now.
There are lots of elegant, compact module blueprints out there, but we opted for something simple. We have the space and it's easy to see what's going on.
These modules will take a while to build, so in the next video, we'll find other useful things to do with that time. For now, we're signing off. Thank you, Lacy, and thank you for joining us. Cheers!
Bye, guys!